childcare to college to cell phone bills, moms pay a steep price for their bundles of joy, and that's one of the reasons we set aside one day every year to say thank you to Mom. Mother's Day is tomorrow. Financial professional Brian Pearson from American Benefits Exchange is here to break down the price tag of a mother's love. It's a big one.
Good morning.
Good to have you here,
Good to be here,
Brian.
and happy Mother's Day weekend.
Yes, absolutely. So just how expensive are we talking about the job of mom?
Well, according to the USDA, it's a cost of at least $250,000
Wow.
to raise those children, and that's a low estimate, and the actual number is $233,610. So it's expensive having children.
And that's just an average. There's some families that dish out more than that and a little less.
Absolutely, and when we think about the different stages in life of raising children, for example, the babies, you know, we think of the massive cost of, you know, baby formula and diapers and what have you, but actually in comparison to, say, child care, that's nothing, because the cost of child care these days, for 1 year of child care, can be more expensive than what you pay for 1 year of in-state college tuition. Yeah,
college, that's a whole nother beast there. What about as we get a little bit older, as the kids get older, and extracurricular activities? I mean, they certainly start to add up if you're doing something more than one afternoon a week after school.
They absolutely do, and I know as parents we want our children to be well-rounded and involved in the arts, or, you know, music, sports, and what have you, but it's a competitive world out there, and a lot of us as parents think that our kids need the best competition, they need the best equipment, and that's a massive amount of money that we can also spend, sometimes unnecessarily, if we're a little bit wise about it, maybe a little bit creative about it. As you know, we were talking a little bit about baseball earlier, and I know parents that have no problem spending thousands and thousands of dollars to go to tournaments in Florida or Arizona or New York, and buying the top-of-the-line equipment, brand new, and that's cutting into moms and dads' retirement one day.
Yeah, absolutely. It certainly is. A lot of sacrifices are made by parents. What about when they get behind the wheel and start driving?
That's a whole nother story, because you know, statistically, when that 15, 16, 17-year-old does get behind the wheel, that's another big expense that mom and dad will have to experience. The average cost increase is about 80% to your policy and your premiums. So we want to be creative there too, in terms of the children, you know, encouraging them. There's a direct correlation between good students and good drivers, so look into that, talk with your agent. There's apps for your phone that if the child participates in that,
might be able to get a little discount there. Hey, every little bit counts.
It all helps.
And quickly, students in college, and trying to protect your savings so mom and dad can have enjoy life later on. What should parents look out for?
Well, statistically, millennials are still being supported in a large way by their parents. So it's not, you know, they reach 18 and they're out of the home and they're off the payroll anymore. This is going on into the 20s and sometimes even 30s, and we need to be wise about the expense of college education. As we've talked about before, maybe finding a local college to go to, at least for the first 2 years. Obviously looking at scholarship opportunities and so many other ways that we can be creative and smart about that.
They are certainly out there, and you've got a calculator to kind of break down some of these costs. What's that website?
We absolutely do. Go to thinkabx.com and check out the calculator.
Brian, always good to see you, and on that note, thank you, Mom and Dad.
Thank you. Happy Mother's Day.
And Dad, happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there.